The Detroit Lions had their injury report released for this week against the Houston Texans. Zadarius Smith was listed as questionable. You had some of the obvious ones, like Ife Melifonwu, Broderick Martin, a couple of those guys out. Yeah. Malcolm Rodriguez listed as out. Yeah. That sucks, but it's all right. He'll probably be back next week. Taylor Decker, the big left tackle, the guy you told me was washed, not you, the guy you guys told me was washed, is out. Yeah. And this is a Texans team that has a lot of power on that defensive line, especially those quick edge rushers. When you look at, I always forget his name. Why do
Will
I always?
Anderson.
Will Anderson. Every time, it's such an easy name to remember.
Yeah.
Will Anderson and then Danielle Hunter. Taylor Decker out is a big thing.
It's huge.
Yeah.
The Texans have the second highest pressure rate in the entirety of the NFL. They have the number one pressure rate when it's just 4 down linemen rushing. The good news is, on their side of the injury report, they are missing Will Anderson, who typically does line up on Taylor Decker's side.
He's out.
He is out. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I didn't hear that yet.
That's the good news. It kind of evens out. But you have a veteran of the game in Danielle Hunter that you could just as easily put over there. I think he's played like 26% of his snaps on Taylor Decker's side. That's exactly what they're going to do. I expect Dan Skipper to be the guy that you pull up. Maybe Colby Sorsdale. I'm not confident in either. I think I'm more confident in Dan Skipper.
Throw Manu out there.
He ain't ready yet.
Give the Bear a game.
Nah, he ain't ready yet.
I don't know if he's ready, especially
not for
Danielle Hunter.
Yeah.
Do you put Penei Sewell at left tackle?
No, too soon.
What you mean too soon?
They
swapped him over
with 9/11, bro.
It's right. No, it's too soon of a switch up. Like on a Friday, just to switch over to the left side after practicing, you know what I'm saying, your entire game plan.
Him and Zeitler have been a menace.
Bro, and that's part of it, too. Like, they're as good as they've been and as good as they are, they're still working out their chemistry, too. The sack that Penei gave up last week, he tripped over Zeitler's foot. That's part of, like, being an offensive lineman. We're lucky enough to have a relationship with Lomas Brown. And when he was a rookie, Penei I'm talking about, I asked Lomas, like, what was he to work on? And that was one of the things, like, just getting the chemistry down on the offensive line, the new guy next to you. It's definitely – this game's going to be a banger because of this, in my opinion. Like, it's going to be a slugfight.
Expect a lot of, 12 personnel. Expect a lot of tight ends out there. Expect a lot of big bodies out there to help whoever if you had to put money on it, you're saying Dan Skipper?
Yes.
Dan Skipper?
Yeah.
I'd probably go Sorsdale. I don't know, man. I don't feel comfortable with either of those guys.
Because they've been repping him at guard.
Yeah.
He's traditionally a tackle. But that's at William and Mary. It's like
he was struggling at guard. I don't want him at tackle.
Guard. Do you put Yodi at tackle?
No.
I don't think he can play tackle.
It's gonna be Skip.
It's gonna be big Skip.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Skip.
Can we say like Skip and a tight end? Would that make you more comfortable?
Yeah.
If it was Skipper and Brock Wright?
I think what needs to happen, Ben Johnson needs to get his nose in the playbook the next 48 hours and draw everything up towards Penei's side, or just draw everything up that's like the ball's out of his hand within like the first 2.5 seconds. That's what needs to happen. And Ben can do that. He operates at that type of level. He was going to school to be some type of engineer.
Yeah, probably smart math nerd.
Yeah,
he's
makes a big nerd. So I think Ben can do it. But the other part of that too is like,
at least he's not a rocket scientist.
Everybody else has to be on the same page at that point, which I think they can. Everybody's been within this offense 3 years now. It's kind of what the Tom Brady stuff they're talking about. Yeah. Like 3 years worth of cohesiveness. If there's a play that they've ran before that's towards Penei's side specifically, everybody there for the most part outside of Zeitler has been, and Zeitler's a veteran of that way, has been a part of this offense and been a part of that play that happened in the past, and they can make it work. I'm not tripping, but I am. I'm more tripping for Jared Goff's health because if Danielle and them do get – I don't want him to take any unnecessary damage. Like this game in the long run – it's a big game, Sunday Night Football, AFC opponent that you could see in a possible Super Bowl matchup. But in the long run, it doesn't really matter. I want our guys healthy. That's all that matters.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
Because they're going to run the ball a lot, too.
They're going to run the ball a lot. They're going to do a lot of plays to the right side of the line with Penei Sewell and Kevin Zeitler. Something I just thought of, partially because we're at Dispo and I'm a little high, but partially because of the Penei Sewell Offensive Player of the Year chatter that you heard going around. What if Ben Johnson dropped his nuts on the table and said, Penei Sewell, you're going to be like a lockdown corner?
What?
Wherever Danielle Hunter lines up is where you line up. If he's on the left side, you're on the left side. If he's on the right side, you're on the right side. Follow him around the formation.
I like that,
you're
actually.
definitely high as fuck.
Dude, I would do that.
You're definitely high
I'm not mad at it.
Because Skip could play either side too, and I'd rather have Penny locked in on Danilo every snap, especially with no Will Anderson.
You can get away with that with tackles.
You
with
really
guards,
could,
no.
dude.
Yeah. With guards and all, but with tackles, you could do that.
Penny moves in a lot of motion already. It's not going to happen, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
Obviously.
We need Penny for receiving,
cool.
honestly.
Yeah, need him for receiving. That would be so cool, though. And if anybody would do that, I would see Ben Johnson doing it with Penny Sewell.
Penny 110% could jump to left tackle if he needs.
Oh, yeah.
He did it his very first game in the NFL and did very well against Nick Bosa. I'm just saying it's too late into the week.
The game plan and everything.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
But you don't think they had some sort of inside track on this at all?
I guess.
Or is it just an injury that was easily sustained?
What I've been able to gather so far, because it literally got announced today.
Yeah.
It happened yesterday.
Yeah, it happened
yesterday.
Yeah, in yesterday's practice.
Yeah.
So
I trust Ben Johnson
in a
enough.
padded practice too, which Dan was kind of questioned on today.
Like Eduardo O'Neill says, quick passing game, please. They're going to have a lot of quick passes, a lot of stuff, getting out of the pocket, maybe moving Goff to his right behind Penei Sewell more and move his pocket a little bit and let him deliver the pass. A lot of running game. I'm not worried about it. It is big because we already saw Taylor Decker getting worked a little bit.
Yeah.
But without him, they're going to play into that, and they're going to get the ball out quick. They're going to run the ball and do a lot of stuff towards that right side.
Now, the part I wonder is how does this affect that deep ball shot that we were talking about that could be a real advantage for the Lions because of the safeties?
I don't know if it affects it because the Jamison Williams deep balls aren't these like deep breaking routes that take so long to develop. You hit him across the middle when he's on the run and get the ball in his hands and let him take off. His deep routes aren't these 12-step drop, just go routes where you uncork it. It's a deep post or a deep slant, and they hit him on it, and he takes it the rest of the way.
I guess where, honestly, it can affect – because those balls aren't – I mean, there are deep shots for sure towards Jamison Williams. It's part of his game. But, like Espini said, if you go back and look at that Seattle Seahawks game, when they brought that zero blitz, it was a J-Mo crosser that was caught around, like, I think it was on 17 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jared Goff's average depth of target this year was like 7 yards. So, like, they'll get him off. Where I guess the more I'm thinking on this, and I just thought about this now, JG doesn't have many, like, true dropbacks. A lot of it's play action, and that's where that could hurt you on play action, on the play side, or, like, no matter where you are, because you're taking a little bit more time to develop the play in that situation. So, like, if they're going to blitz on that side, where it's Dan Skipper or Colby Sorsdale, like, they're more likely to get through. But that's where you put in an extra. Like Brock Wright, he's tremendous at help blocker.
Oh, he's a great blocker.
Sam Laporte's been that since day one. I can only assume he's even better at it in year two.
Yeah.
But that's the only concern. Is a lot of our drop back, or a lot of our passing is through like play action.
Yeah, but
run the ball.
Ben Johnson could get back to what he did a couple years ago, where he'd bring the 12 personnel out there. You'd have all the heavy tight ends look like you're about to just run the ball and then throw out of it.
Yeah,
because Laporta and Brock Wright are both very capable as blockers and obviously as receivers. So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, that's the fix ultimately. Is throwing a tight end over there. And I have confidence in both our tight ends. And I don't know if it's like that across the league, but I for sure can say that.
Will Anderson being out and Taylor Decker being out is a net zero. It's like it just evens out.
Yeah.
Because now
not really though, because you could just put Hunter on whoever the backup guy is.
Yeah, but then we just run away from him the whole game.
It definitely helps neutralize it a bit though, for sure. And I still have confidence in the Detroit Lions, and I got confidence in the Detroit Lions in the long term. Again, this ain't a NFC North game.
The Skipper will be fine.
Yeah, this is more of a let's see where you're at, because you don't get these crossover matches too often against an AFC team that's on your caliber. And to be honest with you, all due respect to the Texans, they're not. And
it really sucks that Rodrigo's out, because he could have played some left tackle if we needed him.
I mean, he had him at fullback.
Dude can do it all.
They had him at, I don't know if he played in the Vikings game. He played nickel.
Yeah.
A few times out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
He used to be a safety. Remember he had
he was a safety. He was a quarterback. Dude,
yeah.
Dude's the man. Hopefully he's ready to go next week, because it was a bad ankle sprain, so he should be back next week.